Hi guys, it's Sarah here again with baby Annie, and today we're looking at febrile seizures. Now the word febrile means feverish to translate it, and seizure sounds really quite scary. So let's call it convulsions. So it's when a baby, now when I say babies, children as well, the most common age for a baby or child to have a febrile seizure is actually between 6 months of age and 3 years. Of course, it could be earlier and of course, it could be later, but that is what research shows. That is the most common age for this to happen. So, a febrile seizure, it happens. Now, they've normally got a history of a little bit of a temperature anyway, but it can shoot up really, really quickly. And that can then show as a febrile convulsion, feverish convulsion, if you prefer. Now, 1 in 20 babies or children will have a febrile seizure. So it's not a high number and it's certainly not a low number. But I'm sure as time goes on, you will hear more and more about it when you've got your baby or your child and you start up conversation with your family, with your friends, etc. So we need to know what to do. So we know it's to do with temperature. The first thing, let's say that your baby or child actually was having a convulsion. Now, how are you going to know it's a febrile convulsion? Well, until you actually get clarification from the medical profession, you're just going to go on your what you know. And I mean that by, is the baby hot? Can you see that they're hot? Is the face really sort of clammy and red? Then you know it's something to do with a febrile convulsion. Yeah. So it can show in different ways. So if you can imagine, this is the baby. They could shake just very gently. It could be more violent looking. And the rare occasion, the eyes could roll to the back of the head. So if this was to happen to your little one, the first thing you need to do is make them safe. If they are in their cot, leave them in their cot. They are safe. If they start having a febrile convulsion, let's say it was a child and they're against a wall or somewhere, then you're going to have to gently and quickly just move them away from that danger. Once they are safe, we then need to reduce the temperature quickly but safely. We need to look at the baby or child. What are they wearing? We need to get off as much clothing as we can. Now, this isn't going to be very easy when a baby or child is shaking a little bit. So you're going to do your best just to get that clothing off. Yeah. If they've got little hats on, take them off. If they've got boots on, take them off. If they've got gloves on, take them off. If they've got extra layers, take them off. Down to the little vest and nappy or little pants, if that's what they're wearing, that's fine. Just take off as much as you can. Once you've got the clothing off, you need to reduce the environment that you are also in. So if you're in a bedroom or in the house or somewhere, open up the door and just to get the heat out of that room. And also we want to turn off the heating. So if there's heating on, turn off the radiators to the best of your ability, okay? Normally a febrile seizure, normally 2 to 3 minutes. And after 2 to 3 minutes, the convulsions normally stop. Now this is great. The heat is now out of the baby. But once, or child, I keep forgetting that bit, or child, then we need to now make them safe. So to make them safe, if you've watched my other videos, if you haven't, jump onto them. To make a baby safe, we're going to put baby now into the recovery position. They're not convulsing anymore, remember that. So we need to pick the baby up. 3 things to remember. 1, that they are on their side completely, no peeking at the face, because that's not completely on the side. 2, make sure the bottom is slightly higher than the head. And 3, making sure that the airway is in a neutral position. As I said, there is a video of me showing you how to do this in more details. Pop on and check it out. Now, if this happens to a child, you're going to do exactly the same. All you're going to do is pull the child onto their side, keep the airway open. Now, a few things. A febrile convulsion is going to be scary if you ever see it happen. But we must call 999. Once you've made baby safe, call 999. They will come, they will of course check the baby and child out, and there will probably be a trip into A&E just so they can run some tests to make sure everything is okay. If a baby or child has one febrile seizure, there's a 50% chance that they might have another one within a year. But if it was to happen again, you're not going to be as shocked, but you're going to repeat exactly the same as what you did the first time. So let's just go through it once again. So the baby or child could be just shaking a little bit. It could be more violent looking. Their eyes, very rarely, but it could happen, could roll to the back of their head. If that happens, we've got to make sure that they are safe. If they're in their cot, they're safe. If they're up against a wall, they're going to injure themselves, move them out of the way. Removing all the clothing to the best of your ability, yeah? Get it off as much as you can. Get the hats off, gloves off, boots off. The other thing is you want to reduce the room temperature by opening doors, windows, just to let a through draft is enough. And turn off any heating if you can that's switched on. Now, prevention is always better than cure, but don't beat yourself up. It can start at a normal, temperature, and it can rise quickly. It doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. It can just happen sometimes, okay? What I would say though is there is another Facebook post that I have, and it's looking at how to dress baby for bed to keep you on a, it's to give you guidance really. What I will say, if you want to, coming back for more, there are two things that you do not want to do, which you think goes against all of your being a parent. Now, I know as a parent myself that if this was happening to your baby or child, the first thing you'd probably want to do is pick them up and hold them to make sure that it's all right, darling, you're going to be okay. The problem is we don't want to do this. The reason why is that when we start holding the baby, we are trapping the heat in. We want the baby or child to be down on the ground so the heat can evaporate out. Makes sense really, doesn't it? So no holding, you're trapping that heat in, and it's going to take longer and longer to get the temperature down. The second thing that we don't want to do is put anything directly cold onto them. And here is the reason why. Febrile seizure happens commonly in this age bracket because when we're born, not everything is not as strong as what we are as adults. We have a thermostat inside of our brain, and that thermostat, as we get older, can restrict our body temperature. When we are cold as adults, we shiver. That's our natural body way to try and warm ourselves up. When we're hot, we sweat to try and get rid of the heat. But with this age group, because they're so young and not everything is fully developed and strong yet, the thermometer inside their brain isn't fully developed. And that's why we have to control their temperature with how we dress them, with the environment that they're in. Sometimes it might through medication if that is what you choose to do. So we're controlling their temperature because of this thermostat not being strong enough. If you were to get something cold, like my nan always used to do it, bless her, she's not with us anymore. She said, get a cold cloth, that'll do you the world of good. And she used to get a cold towel and always put it onto our forehead, whether we needed it or not. The problem with putting anything directly cold onto a baby or child with a febrile seizure is the brain will go, oh, that's cold, and it will shoot the temperature up even higher. And that is not what we're trying to do. We need to reduce the temperature safely. If you have any other questions, then please, please, please get in touch. I'm Sarah, owner and trainer of Mini First Aid Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire, making training fun, engaging, but most importantly, memorable. If you'd like to learn more, then why not join me on one of my 2-hour baby and child classes? You'll learn a lot there. Check out my Facebook page and see all the dates in a location near you. Have a great week, guys. Keep safe. Bye-bye.